Good evening. Good evening, my wonderful people. How are you doing? I trust and hope you are all fine. Good evening. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you are doing fine by the grace of God. Good evening to you all. Good evening, good evening, good evening. You are welcome to another edition of Discovery Time. Thank you for joining. Thank you for tuning. And thank you also for calling in the Calvary, sharing the word, spreading the word. Am I audible? Can you please let me know if I'm audible? You are welcome to another edition of Discovery Time. You are all welcome. Call in the Calvary, spread the word. We are back live 8 o'clock Central European Time. It is Discovery Time. Yay! It is fun time. Come and let us have fun. I am excited. I don't know if you are, but I am. So join me and let's have fun together. You are welcome. Good evening, my dear people. You are all welcome. So last week we dealt with, um, we were recapping what we've done so far. And I said we are going to continue today before we dive into a new subject. So we are welcome. We are still on the topic of recapping what we've learned so far. Last week, we dived a bit deeper again into what it meant for us to be the salt of the earth, what salt means, and also being the light of the world. It's very important that we have that understanding, that we know what it is, so that when we are, referring to it, we can also really act according to the understanding that we have. We can know what is required of us, for us to act like salt. And today we are going to continue doing the recap because we've dealt on a lot of issues, and I don't want them to, just to be out there or to be missing. I want us to once in a while go back. What have we learned so far? What have we dealt with? Also for the new people among us, for the new followers, for the new or just passerbyers who happen to just see this video, so that they also have an idea of what we are doing and what we've been dealing with so far. By the way, my name is Helen Aya, and I welcome you to Discovery Time. This is where it happens every Wednesday live on my Facebook page, Become, on my YouTube page, Become as well. You are all welcome. Good evening, Bisola. How are you doing? I'm doing fine by His grace. Thank you. And you? How is the family? Let me know if you are in. Just drop a word, say hello, so that I know you are with me. It's encouraging to know that there are people out there. Yes. So if you're watching me also from YouTube, just drop in and I will see it from here. Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. Be blessed. Thank you, Bisola. Thank you so much. All right, so let's dive in. That's awesome. Are the school on break? All right, so last week we dealt with being the salt and being the light. Okay, they are not yet on break. All right. So being the salt and being the light. And this week, today, we are going to continue with our recap. You're all welcome as you join me. Please help to spread the word. Help to call in the Calvary because I believe we are learning some things here by the grace of God. If you are not, kindly let me know. If there is something I need to adjust, also let me know. We learn along the way. So help me to improve on things that needs to be improved on and also help me to spread the word. Okay. So once again, you are welcome. Welcome to my discovery time where we don't discover new things, not necessarily, but where we try to dive in, go deeper, and learn. So once you come in, please help me to do what we do best. Help me to spread the word. You are welcome. So this evening, we are going to continue with a recap of what we've dealt with so far. And I remember we also dealt with the time factor. Time time is so important in our life. And I've been putting some things out about time. That time is older than us, obviously. Time is infinite. Time is life because life is measured in time. And before us, time exists. After us, time will still exist. So time continues no matter what. If we exit this world, time still continues. Now, the very purpose why time is given to us here in this realm called Earth. Because after we exit this world, time actually does not exist. So time is infinite, but time is not eternal. It's very important we understand this. Good evening, Cecilia. You are welcome. You are welcome, my dear. Be blessed. How are you doing? God bless you. So, time we are still on the topic of recapping, recapping what we've dealt so far, what we've dealt with so far. I'm doing fine. Thank you so much, Cecilia. I am fine. And how are you doing? Thank you all, by the way, for celebrating me. May God bless you as you celebrated me on Monday. I really appreciate each and every one of you. I thank God for adding another year onto my age. I give God all the glory. It's only by His mercy and grace that I am where I am. So all glory to His name. Thank you so much, Cecilia. I really appreciate all of you for taking the time, for writing something, for wishing me um, the best. As you celebrated me, may God celebrate you as well. May celebration never depart from your homes, never depart from you in the name of Jesus. I am doing fine. Yeah, 1st July. 1st July. I'm the month and the womb opener. Yay! So I am blessed, double blessed. And in Ghana, 1st July is a Republic Day, so it's holiday, so double blessing. Right. So time is a gift. Time is a gift given to us. Like age. Age is time. It's a gift given to us, for us to be able to manage life. Because without time, it becomes difficult. Um, we are eternal beings. We are eternal beings. That is our spiritual being. So we are eternal beings in a, you know, finite body. So though our spirit is eternal, we live in a realm and we live in a vessel, in a body that is finite. And so the infinite world, infinite time, makes it possible for us to be able to live life in sequences, live life in seasons, live life in minutes, in hours, in seconds, in all the seasons that is given to us. It's actually meant for us to be able to manage life effectively. Without that, it becomes very difficult, because imagine living eternal if without the understanding of what eternal actually means. Meanwhile, we are meant to live eternal because we are eternal beings. So for us to have that understanding, we really need to come to terms with, why is time given to us? Why do we exist in time? Because when we are out of time, that means you have existed this realm. You are no longer in this realm. So the time does not cover you anymore. When you are in the spiritual realm, you are in the eternal realm, and time is not bound there. Time is a gift also because it gives us the opportunity to correct things. That's why it is a gift. In eternity, there is no such thing. You cannot go back. You cannot even go back, but you don't have the chance to correct things in eternity. Time that is given to us is such that every opportunity, every day is a new day to rewrite the wrongs of yesterday. Every hour is an opportunity to get some things done that you could not get done yesterday. And so it is in a way to help us to correct the mistakes of yesterday, to learn from it and be able to move on in life, to be able to help us to achieve things in life. Because the way we will live our life here determines actually how eternity is going to look like for us. So time is so, so, so important. We cannot live life carelessly. It is, how should I put it? Ah, very dangerous to just live life and be like, oh, I'll see what happens. Yeah, there are situations and times that you're like, I don't know, I don't really know, I will see what happens. But that should be the exceptional, not your way of living. If that's your way of living, I'm very sorry, you are missing out big time. Good evening, Feti Zoe. You are welcome. Nice to see you. How are you doing? God bless you. I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine by His grace. Thank you so much. Thank you. And you? Bisola, thank you for the awesome work. God bless you. So we are still recapping. I'm still just recapping. Oh, my dear, the busyness, huh? God will help us. Everyone is so busy. See how my head is scattered? That's how my head is also just busy, moving from A to Z. But we give God the glory. We thank God that His mercy and grace is available to us to help us, to guide us. Ah, hmm. Please take it easy. Take it easy because, like you are hearing, time is a gift, but we need to use it wisely. So please don't stress yourself out. Take out time to rest because that is what you need to charge the battery so that you'll be able to do more. Sometimes when people say, "Oh, let's take rest, let's rest," they think they are wasting time. Mm-mm. Good evening, Mr. Tunde. You are welcome. Thank you so much for joining. How are you and the family? School work. Yay. Do what you can do. Try and prepare as much as possible. Don't leave everything till, the end. That is one thing that I had to learn also the hard way. We pile it up when you're in exams or we need to submit. Deadlines are there, we dive in. But anyway, may the Lord strengthen you, Faithy Zoe. May He guide you and help you scale through and pass with flying colors in Jesus' name. Ah, yes, the final yes. Yes. Do you have to write any paper, master's paper, or and do research? It is well. I pray also for favor. May the Lord favor you. As you are putting all the effort, may He favor you in Jesus' name. Amen. Our efforts will not be in vain. No way. Our effort will not be in vain. Yeah, your project. Right. It is well. It is well. Our efforts will never be in vain. Sometimes when as we are talking about time, you need to invest in time. You need to invest in time for time to yield for you. Like Fetizori, what you are doing, you are actually investing. You're investing in yourself, but you're also investing in time. At the end of the day, time will tell. The effort you have put in will now what? That's your seed. That's the seed that you have sown, and it will now begin to speak for you. When someone, you're maybe a mate that dropped out, or that, it's like, why are you wasting your time doing all this? When the next time they'll meet you on a different level, they'll realize, yes, time really matters. The time you invest matters. So, no time is wasted as long as we are using it wisely. May the Lord help and guide you. Talking about time. Talking about time. In my book, I differentiate different types of time users. I have a category of time users I call the time wasters. Another category of time users I call let me say the time consumers. Now I'll describe all of them. And I have another category I call the time managers, which we all know. We all know because it's everywhere, time managers. But we forget the time wasters. Who are the time wasters? The time wasters, I describe those ones that kind of wake up and have no idea what to do with their life, no idea what to do with time, forgetting that life is time. And that's why in the words they say time is money, but actually time is life. So they have no idea what to do with life. They have no idea. They just wake up, waste a whole lot of hours watching TV, being on social media, whatsoever. Not that they're on social media to learn, not that they're on social media to, gain something, investing in that time to help them. No, they are just there on actually what they themselves call killing time. They call it killing time. Like, just kill, oh, just I'm just killing time. And it's such a sad thing to say, but also uh, a very bad condition to be in if you more than 80% of your time goes in killing time, playing games, doing things that add no value to their lives. Good evening, Lydia. You are welcome. How are you doing? Be blessed. They are doing nothing to add value to their lives. That for me is just wasting of time. It's time wasting. They have no clue, no idea. They just, and one thing about this group is they want to make it. Those are the ones that will shout the hardest. I want to make it. I want to make it big time. But making it big time means investing in time. Making it big time means taking your time to also know what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, know yourself, and then also know what is out there to match who you are and be able to do it. They don't do that. They want to make it big time just by scrolling and watching other people. They have made it, I want to be like them. But you are not willing to put in the work, the efforts, the ethics, or following other ones that are made it in a way that is questionable, and they want to be like that. It's complete time wasting. And because I said time is life, it's also life wasting. It's life wasting. So those are the time wasters. The opportunity, the gift given to them is just wasted. I would say those are the majority of the group that one of my mentors that I looked up and still look up so much to, Dr. Miles Monroe, will refer to as, enriching the graveyard. That they actually exit this world with everything in them, with all the potentials, with all their abilities and capabilities, everything they have. They go and enrich the graveyard because they were either ignorant of what they had or just wasted it. So those are the time wasters. And then the time consumers. The time consumers are the ones that are very busy. Oh, I used to be in that category. Maybe sometimes I'm still am in that. So busy with a whole lot of things. They have clear idea of what's going on and what they need to do. But it's just too much busyness. Good evening, Perpetual. You are welcome. Yes, they are the opposite of the time wasters. They are over busy. Let me put it this way. They are so busy that they don't really get much done. But they are busy. Every time, busy, every time, busy. Ask me what they are doing. Oh, we are doing, and they are doing a lot of things. It's not that they are not doing, they are doing a lot of things, but because of lack of foresight and planning, they actually they are not effective. Let me put it this way. They are not effective in all that they are doing. And they are trying, really, like trying their best. But I call it consuming because the effect is, what they are putting in is not being effective. Normally, when you are investing, you will need to invest wisely so that it will become, effective for you. No problem, Perpetual. You're welcome. Yes, exactly. Jacks of all trade. We do all kinds of things, but also just, okay, is it this? Is it to write this? Busy all the time and all round. We are working. And so the effort that we put in and compared to the results that we get, it's so little. It's so little. So for me, I categorize them the time consumers because they are consuming time really well. They are consuming the time, but the effort, the result is so little. There is so little to show for it because they are being ineffective in their use of time. They will do really. I'm number one. Seriously, I used to be in that category. Honestly, very busy. Oh my goodness, there was no even to rest. No time to rest. Very busy all the time, moving up and down, but very little at the end to show for it because of not thinking things through well, and also not taking things one by one. Because if you don't, plan things and just try to let me deal with this, finish with it, I know it's done, and then move on to the next one, you will realize you touch here, touch here, touch there, touch there. At the end, everything will just whoo, and it will overwhelm you. And when it overwhelms you, what happens? You just sit down, give up, and then start again from zero. So those I call the time consumers. They are so busy. They are aware of time. They know that time, time means something, and they want to get the best out of time, but they don't plan it well. Welcome. Good evening. Goodness, you're welcome. Seriously, I'm telling you, Lydia, seriously busy. Honestly, it's not joke. It's not when they say they are busy, honestly, it's not that they are joking. They are truly busy with a lot of things. And that's the problem with a lot of things. And so being busy with a lot of things does not make you effective because you don't finish. You do this quarter way, stop, halfway, stop, touch here and there. And when you're like that, you don't really get anything done. You realize it's like a farmer that will start, farming one part of, and then stop halfway, go to the other side, you stop halfway, go. At the end of the day, you realize, yeah, okay, I've been so busy working, but what is growing, or what is actually what am I producing? You know, so you don't really have much to show for it. But you are here now, goodness. Thank you. It's 8 o'clock. I know it's 7 and it's a bit early. But it's 8 o'clock Central European time. Thanks for joining. Be blessed. So the time consumers, honestly, if you and I realize that most of us, that's why I say I'm guilty. I used to be guilty of it. Sometimes I still find myself, dangling back into old habits. Um, but I hope to fully graduate to the next category that I'm going to describe. It is well, goodness. So the time consumers, most of us are in that category of time consumers. Really, we have a notion, we know the importance of time, we want to make the best out of time, but because we don't put in the effort to first investigate and then invest in it, we miss it big time. We try to do everything and all thinking that that is the best, and then we miss it. So the time consumers, we are trying, but we can do better if we would just take a little bit of that time out to reflect on things, to also learn what is going on, research what is going on around us, and then try to adjust our approach to them to be more effective. It will help us. And that drives me to the next category of time users, the time managers. If you are able to graduate from time consumer, you actually become a time manager. You are no longer consuming time, you are now managing time. Now, managing time is completely a different ball game altogether. Time is something that we cannot control, but we can have a way of, managing it, and even go a bit further of making it work for us. No one has time in their hands. It's only the time owner that has time in his hands. But he has given us the grace to come to a certain level that we can have deeper insight, understanding the time, like the sons of Issachar, to have a good insight in it, and then let time work for us. No, that's a different ball game. Those are the category I call the time commanders. Not that they command time, like I said, no one controls time except the time owner. But the time commanders have come to a level of understanding that they can go above, actually dive, look further by the things happening around. They don't just look at, okay, this is what is happening. No, they look further than that. This is what is happening. What is telling me about tomorrow? What is telling me about what is coming? And then they read through it and prepare themselves today for the next. Those are the time commanders. Now I'm coming to the time managers. When we graduate from time consumers, we come to the time managers. Time managers are the ones that have effectively, that is when you are the top of time managing, effectively, use time. What do I mean by that? They have the gift of um, planning. They can plan effectively. Not only planning, they also know what they need. So they've taken out the time, identify the things that they need to do, the people they need to, achieve whatever they need to achieve, the finance and where to get it before now putting it into action. So when they put into action, they already put time in what? Preparation. So once they put time in the preparation, see, preparation is the key. It's not the key to everything because we cannot prepare for everything. But once you are prepared to a level that you know what is coming, you can also be able to adjust yourself to the unexpected. When things are happening, okay, let me come back a bit, or let me speed up, or you know how to adjust yourself when you are well prepared. You cannot prepare for everything, like the weather. We can't They are trying their best to predict the weather, but we can't always prepare for it, right? You can't also always prepare for the economical condition. We can't. Sometimes things happen. Although, if you are in the commanders category, you will be able to foresee some things. You will be able to predict some things. And so it will help you to prepare ahead. But again, we cannot. It's not everything that we are able to, because again, we are just humans and God is a time owner and knows all things. But we can prepare ourselves in a way that when things are happening that we did not, we couldn't predict, it will not come as a total surprise or a shocker, because you will know how to balance yourself. Even if it knocks you down, you still know how to come back again. Why? Because of it's like preparing yourself is like, how do I put it? Like pumping some heavy beds that when you fall, you'll be able to bounce back. Those are the things that fire service use to save people that are falling from the high floor, high building that they need to rescue. Sometimes they'll pump very big. I know I'm talking about here, where they have the facilities. They'll pump very big bed, and let the people fall on it. And when they fall, they don't break anything. Nothing spoil. Why? Because they have balance. There is something that, or even sometimes, I don't know, sometimes when aeroplane have, there is an emergency landing. The this thing that they sometimes put or pull out, it's like a balloon, how should I swing, that the passengers will be swinging on to come down. It supports, it helps, it gives balance. And so even if you are falling, you are not falling to the ground. You are still going to what? Bounce back. That is what preparation does. Yeah, it's not like parachute, because parachute shoot you up. But this one, it's really it bounce down, and then people can just slide on it to come out of the aeroplane. It helps them because by that time they cannot really pull down um the stairs of the aeroplane, so they need to put those things out. um and it helps them to just roll over and come down. It prepares and it gives you an edge. It gives you something to it actually position you to be ahead of your peers. When you're able to plan yourself well, when you're able to prepare well, and then in that category, you can then be dealing with a lot of things at the same time. Why? You have plan A. This is how I'm going to do it. This is the people I need. This is how I'm going to achieve it. And then you roll it out. Once you're rolling it out, it's just rolling out the plan. Any unforeseen thing, we adjust. B, okay, this is what it is. This is what I'm going to do. And that's why they are called managers, because they manage things. And managers also have excellent, excellent um, gift in giving away task. They are not the ones that must and know because they know how to do it. They are the ones that have to do it. They have a knack for looking for the right people, getting the right people on board, and helping them. And so, okay, this is not my strength. I give it to that person, and then follow that person up. That is my strength. I'm going to do it. But for me to be able to do it, I need B. So follow that person up. And they have the gift of knowing no one person has it all. You need people around you. You need to. So if you have this mentality of I want to do it all by myself, you become time consumer. You just be consuming time because you cannot do it all by yourself. We would just be moving, circle around the circle, around the circle. Good evening, Steve. You're welcome. Thank you so much for following. You're welcome. You just be going around the circle, and at the end of the day, you realize you're at spot one. You moved maybe a little bit, but you could have moved more than where you moved. So it's very important we graduate from being time consumers to time managers. Now, being a time manager again does not mean that we can foresee everything. We can't. But it will help when you are able to prepare for the basic things to also be ahead a little bit of time. Effective time managers can predict some things. They can see. They know, okay, if I put A, B, and C together, this is what is going to happen. If A, B, and C fail, I have this as alternative. If that one also fail, well, then we have an issue. But at least they try to prepare as much as possible to their own, how they can get whatever that needs to be get done. That's time managers. That's why everywhere nowadays where you go, they are talking about time managing, how to manage time. There's a whole course on time management. Good evening, Debbie. You're welcome. Thanks for joining. You have a whole course on time management. Why? Because they realize that we kind of take things for granted. We take time for granted. Time waits for no man, and time owes no one anything. The only thing that times respond to is if you obey the principles built in it. Once you obey the principles built in it, you become a time commander. Time obeys to you because it will just be responding to you by the obedience by the things that you have obeyed, by what you have put in. Time will now be working for you. And that is the category I call time commanders. The sons of Issachar, Israel never got anything without consulting the sons of Issachar because they had this gift of commanding time. Not again, I want to correct my, I want to clarify something so that I'm not misunderstood. When I call them the time commanders, I'm not saying that they command time, but they have an understanding in time. They have um, a insight, not only understanding, but they have insight and also foresight in time, that time works for them. They just have to see what's going on. And time, they don't put, most of their time actually is spent in studying time. Most of their time is what? Studying time. And so when they have gained that knowledge, okay, what is going on? What is this? And then go to their maker and ask, Lord, what does this mean? They come out and they, with little effort, time works for them. With little effort, time works for them. It works for them like magic. They don't have two heads. They don't have extra whatsoever, but they have gained this mastery over time. And anything you have mastery over, you are, you command it. They have gained mastery over time. That's why I call them the time commanders. Good evening, patients. You're welcome. You're all welcome. God bless you. So they have mastery over time. Exactly, sir. They understand how time works, but they also have the insight. See, sometimes we see season and we are like, oh yeah, it is summer. Yes, it is summer. But there is an understanding that you can get in how summer is and works, so that you'll be able to be effective in your use of what summer is. You know, in the olden days, farmers were very effective. The only time that they had was actually not the hour that we count. They were really dependent on nature. And so they read nature. They understood, there was this understanding of nature. This is happening, this is happening. What does it mean? Gradually, somehow, we are becoming a bit maybe too much comfortable, relying so much on technology, that technology is becoming smarter and it's outsmarting us. Technology is becoming smarter in how to, regulate, because of all the knowledge we have put in. AI is becoming what? The thing, and we are admiring it. But we are made in a way that we are supposed to have, we are supposed to be more than that. If we are to put in the effort, if we are putting the time needed to learn, to study, what season we are in and what it is speaking, what it is saying to us. Because the seasons means different things to all of us. It is not the same, except summer is summer. Yes, I agree. But my summer might mean that I have to travel somewhere on that particular summer for something to happen. Your summer might means it means a bit different to all of us. So you must take the time to study, what does this mean? And to me personally, for me and my household, what does it mean? We are all given time as a gift, but we don't all have the same time. Someone may have like 50 years as lifetime. Someone may have 50 years as lifetime, and that 50 years for that person is like 100 years. Good evening, Joy. You're welcome. God bless you. Thanks for joining. It's never too late. It's never too late. So someone can have that time, but it may be 100 years for that person. While to another, that 50 years actually is like 5 years, because they've not started. they've not discovered it yet. They've not been able to. It's like 5 years. So time does not mean the same to all of us. Our maker who made us gave us a, age is but a number. Like, it's but a number. It means different to all of us. So if someone has achieved something at a certain age, it doesn't mean that you were supposed to achieve that at that certain age. We don't have the same time. But it's up to you to discover what it means or how you are supposed to live. It's up to you to discover it and then put it into action. That is the only way time will work for you. When we talk of redeeming time, we don't go back in time. No one can. But God says we can redeem time. Now, redeeming is not that we are going to go back to it, but it's going to help us to catch up on all the other ones that we missed along the way, to help us to catch up, because no one can go back. God is God, but God does not rewind back time. He is bound to his word and principle. He does not rewind back time, but he will help us to redeem it by all the years, the things that we were supposed to achieve, but due to ignorance, due to maybe lack of help, due to whatsoever, we could not. He will help us to redeem it in a short time. He said, the years that the locusts and the cankerworms have eaten shall what? We shall recover. What does those years stand for? Lost years. Years that have, that we were not able to do much. Years of drought, years of nothingness, years of maybe wasting of time. He will help us. Once you gain that understanding and insight, he will help you to recover it, to redeem it. But you need to get to that level of understanding. Otherwise, you cannot be able to recover. Why? You cannot be able to manage it. Whatever, God cannot give you what you cannot manage, because he has made us managers. He said we are managers of the earth. And so whatever he has given to you is for you to manage it, because at the end of the day, we are going to give account, right? We don't own nothing. At the end of the day, we are going to give account to the owner of everything. Good evening, Sister Amanda. You are welcome. Thank you for joining. We are going to give account for every single thing, even the words that we speak and the thoughts that we think. We are going to give account of them. So if you have this understanding, that's why I'm getting with the time, why I felt like we need to go back and do recap and bring back things again. If you have this understanding, you become very cautious of how you live your life. You become cautious of the decision you take. Even the people you mingle with, you become cautious of them. Why? Look, if you are with someone and the only thing they know how to do is gossip and whatsoever, add no value to you, please, there is nothing wrong with taking distance. Because you are going to give account for those time that you just wasted. You are going to give account for them. How are you going to, if the owner now come and ask you, I gave you 40 years, how did you use it? Sometimes we think we owe life. We don't owe life. And life owes us nothing. What we make out of life is what life will respond to. That is time. Life is time. Life is measured in time. Life is measured in time. Therefore, life is time. They will say at the tombs, when someone dies and they write at the tomb stone, what do they write? Date of birth, the name, date of birth, date of death. So time is measured. Life is measured, in time. And so if you live from that, you were born on that date and you died on that date, all that happened in between is your lifetime. How are they going to say you spent your lifetime? How effective was it? How are you going to give account for it? Are you going to say, oh, well, I did not have any helper. So, well, like the the servant with the one talent, and said, well, I knew you were a wicked master, so I just went and hid it, so that when you come, I return it back to you. Those examples are given to us to learn. Those parables are given to us. Jesus spoke most of the time in parables, but if you are very attentive, you will know he's talking about every little thing that God gives you. Time is so essential. You are giving it as a gift to prepare you for eternity. We are spirit beings. Let's not be deceived. We are spirit beings living in mortal bodies. These bodies will die, absolutely. But your spirit and soul not. They are going to live for eternity. But your eternity is determined by the time here. See the paradox? You are going to live forever in eternity, whether in the good side, whether that is determined by how you spend the time given to you, how you spend that time. So time is so important. You cannot just sit down and say, oh, it's because of this person. Or if you let person, please, you can also allow circumstances to determine for you and say, oh, because of this circumstance. Yes, there are situations that we can't control. We don't have control over situations, but we have control over our own choices. We have control over our own choices. So the choice that you make in any given circumstance, in any given situation, is yours. And you have to own up to it and make something out of it. Let's stop giving excuses. We don't all have, no one is born with a golden label, well, except, you are from a royalty somewhere, which not majority of us. So no one is born with a golden spoon. Absolutely not. But you can make something out of that situation and bring a golden spoon to your life by the choices that you make, by living an effective life, making right choices, and therefore making good of time. Making choices. Next time I'll deal with, we dealt with emotions and all that. They are so important. They are we don't, I'm sorry I'm sounding a bit, but my dear people, can I beg us one thing? I know we are very emotional people and we need emotions. God gave us emotions. But when it comes to decision making, please remove emotion out of it. When it comes to making very important, critical decisions, please do not base on emotions, because emotions can change. In my book, I also talk about the heart of the mind and the heart of the soul. Any decision you make from the heart of your soul is completely different. It's so difficult for you to change that decision. The mind is emotion. It moves like piam piam, it changes anyhow. That's why you hear someone say, I changed my mind. I changed my mind. If you make a decision based on your mind, you will miss it big time. But if you make a decision based on the heart of your soul, it's a complete different thing. So when it comes to time and you want time to work effectively for you, please take out time and remove all baggages, everything covering that decision, everything including emotions, and then dive deeper into it so that you will know your emotion is not overcrowding anything. It's so important, please. We serve a God that is a loving God, but He's also a God You know, one thing I've learned, we are still in the process of learning, but I have come to learn is that God answers to is bound to his principles, his word, not emotions, his word. And so, based on this word, we are also going to be judged by what we say, how we have acted, the intentions of our hearts. He is bound by his word, not by his emotions. Though by his emotions he grants us mercy, by his emotions he grants us love, but he's bound by his word when it comes to judgment. When it comes to judgment, he shows us mercy because he is a loving God. But when it comes to judgment, he is what? Bound by his word. And that is why even devil can have access and still be going to be accusing the brethren because he knows God is bound by his word. So he'll use that same word and say, but Lord, see, oh, these people are disobeying, this, that. That's why time, everything is time. Ah, sorry, Cecilia. Everything is time. It's very important. Wait, Mr. Tunde said, how one lives his or her life is dependent on where it belongs. Yes, exactly. So, how you live your life is how eternity is going to look like for you. That's just it. How you live your life here. If you live your life and you want to be a scammer, well, you are going to spend eternity also with the scammer, the greatest scammer of all times. If you think you are going to somehow um, beat time by cheating, you can't. Time is too smart for you for that. It's been around for way or more years, more longer than you and I will ever be. It's infinite. Time goes on, it continues, it's infinite. So you cannot beat time, you cannot cheat time. How you live your life, absolutely. So what I want to drive home with time is that the time is so important. It is a gift given to us. I identify those time categories to help us. I use it as a way of, reflecting, doing a self reflection and be like, okay, which category do I belong to? I admitted I belong to the time consumers. I belonged. I have gradually graduated to the time managers, and I'm still there, still finding footing because it takes discipline, it takes determination, it takes work to be an effective time manager. So I'm still finding footing in the time management. And the dream is to one day graduate to the category of time commanders. That's for me um the ultimate um time users, because the level of understanding is like mind blow. Your a different aspect opens up for you when you are in that category. When I'm writing about it, somehow it's just like I just get a glimpse of what it's like, and I get so excited. I was taken to, like, I it was in a vision anyway, like how the eagle, when the storm arises, the eagle is able to rise up and be on top of the storm and just be relaxing, gliding along with the storm. Why? Because the eagle knows the storm is going to come down, and it goes through the eye and can see everywhere. So while it's up there, it's steadying everywhere, and I've seen everything. Once the storm comes down a bit, it knows direct where to go, how to get it, what to, direct. It goes for its target. That's time commanders. When the challenges are happening, they are just using it to climb. They are using it to climb, and then they climb up above it. Oh yes, the challenge is going on, they are seeing it, but it doesn't touch them because they have come to this level, this realm of understanding. They just look through and be like, okay, what can I make out of this? Where are the good things? What, okay, see it, use it, and bam. Once the storm goes down, you'll be like, storm never touch you. How come you are still like, storm never touched you? Oh, but it did. It's just that they did not allow it to affect them. They went above, and then saw the opportunities. And once the storm went down, they just moved and got to their opportunities. That's time commanders. And so I'm just hoping and praying one day, Lord, sometimes, very sometimes, I grab that. But let it become a lifestyle. Everything about us, how we use time, let it be a lifestyle. Adopt that lifestyle, and then time will begin to work for you. That's just what I want to drive home with time. Time is so precious, it's so essential, but how you use it matters, not only in this realm, but in the afterworld, in eternity. We are eternity, there is no end, there is no beginning, there is no end. We need to understand time is given to us as a gift that we know there is a beginning and there is an end, but in eternity there isn't. But eternity is determined by this short time we have in the mortal physical world. It matters a lot. So I hope with this that we can, at least be cautious of how we use our time, how we spend it with the people around us. Good evening, Folashade. Am I saying it right? Folashade, good evening. You're welcome. How we spend it and the people around us really matters a lot. Don't forget, it is you that is going to give an account, not the people around you. And so you cannot go and say, oh, this person or that person made me do this. It's your choice. It's your choice. So if you allow someone to convince you to do something that you really know is not how it's supposed to be, we also dealt on, right and good. That is a very interesting one. If please people go back and listen, because that is really interesting. Right and good. The difference between right and good. It's so powerful. Take your time to go through it if you haven't. And let's I hope we will learn one or two things from there. If you allow people to make you do the things that is not right in the name of good, it's your choice. It's your choice. Good evening, Newton. You are welcome. God bless you. It's your choice. So I'm going to round up here. I'm so sorry for those that joined late. It's okay, Joy. Can you please let me know what you've learned? Please, all of you, just let me know if you've learned something. Let me know what you've learned, because that's why I'm bringing back, doing recap, because I don't want us to come and just be like, oh, it was a fun time. I'm not here to receive appraisal. I'm very sorry. I'm not here for that. I'm really here for us to, be able to learn one or two things that will help us in on this journey called life. Life is a journey with different destinations, and that's why our time does not, we don't have the same time, because our destinations are not the same. And so these are things that we already know, but sometimes we need, they say the more you hear something, constant repetition, it will now sink into you, and it will begin to be effective. That's what conditioning is all about, right? So the more we learn, the more we hear, the more maybe we pick one or two things and adapt to it, that it will become like a habit for us to be doing it. That is actually my aim, because we need to get back to the essence of things. I believe social media and all other noises is just driving us away from the essence of things, and we need to get back to it. You are welcome, my dear. You are not late. Um, you are welcome. I just hope next time, if you can make it by 8 p.m. Central European Time, then you will be able to hear more. All right, so let me see. Joy says, we shouldn't allow the storm to swallow us, rise above the storm. Absolutely. Goodness says, I learned re-strategizing. Absolutely. If A doesn't work, B will work. Yes. Learn from your mistakes. And then, and when you're re-strategizing, my dear Goodness, you know, think about, it's not your vision that you're going to re-strategize. It's actually your approach. Because your vision must be strong enough. So you re-strategize your approach to reach your destination, right? Because you know where you're going to, but how to get there, you can use different routes, but you need to be careful because not all routes are meant for you in particular. So you need to find out which one is important and necessary for you. Okay, Bisola says, I learned that time is so precious to be wasted. We should always learn how to manage our time and be able to work with time. Absolutely. Learn and relearn. Yes, so much. We should learn to use our time wisely. Make good use of time. Yes, Joy, I really need to emphasize on that. No, don't get plan A, B, C, and D. No, no, no. Get plan A, but get plan A and plan it well. The plan B is for something else, right? When you plan A, it's not that you have a plan B, but you just know if something should happen, this is what I'm going to do. It's all in your plan A. In your plan A, you like, okay, I'm going to um I'm going to buy goods to sell. Yeah. And then you identify where you are going to sell to who, your public. And then where you are going to get your goods, which transportation you are going to use. Now, it's very important as you are planning where you're going to get your goods, in the same planning. Okay, if I go to this area and they don't have, then I'll go to that area. It's still in that same planning. Do you understand me? So you have an alternative within the same planning, not that you have plan B. The plan B is for something else. So as a time manager, I want to get these goods and I'm going to sell it in this market. And so the whole process, how to get it from that market, come to my and then sell it, all that you plan it. That is for one project. Then the other project, which is then your plan B, by a plan B for a complete other project. So your plan A for that project. You get me? You plan also completely. Okay, there I'm going to get this and that and that. This one I want to do a project with children. How am I going to do it? Who do I need to help me? Let's say the birthday party of your child is coming up. You want to do a birthday party. It's completely different from the other one. You get me? But you still need to plan it. And so in your planning, you put in what you need. Okay. Then also you foresee what if. And that what if is I'm planning an activity outside, but what if it rains? What am I going to do? It's still in you need to calculate all those things so that if it starts to rain, oh, no problem. This is the activity we are going to do inside when it starts raining. Okay. The activity we want to do inside, maybe, we need this, that, and that. Okay, let me go and get it ready just for in case it starts raining. That it's all in that same plan, but you have calculated some what ifs. So in case it starts raining, you are not disappointed. Why? Because you have prepared ahead of it. That's the whole this thing I'm trying to say. So don't have for that same plan A, B, and C. No, for that same project, within your planning of that same project, you foresee things so that when they arise, when when you hit that storm, you'll be able to go over it and be like, oh, no problem, we still have this we can do, or that we can do. You have somehow calculated a little bit of what you can. It's not everything we can plan, but the ones that that might happen. Oh, I'm going, the roads are rough. What happens if I have a flat tire? Or I don't have enough, uh, I don't think I'll have enough petrol. Okay, then let me go and tank. Or let me put extra gas in my, you put things into place to help you move from A to B to fulfill that plan that you have for that project. Don't make the mistake of having for the same project plan A, B, and C. Because if you do that, you'll be like the time consumers. Because you have a plan B, the slightest hindrance or storm, you move, go to another this thing. It will confuse you and you will just be moving around and achieving nothing. Stay in that same plan and then try to bring in as much as possible the what ifs, as much as possible within that same plan. So when anything happen, you are not changing like drastically. You just know, okay, we put in B, or I call this Mister or this Madam, or try to look for solution before the problem starts. Like this, you are a bit ahead of the situation. So that's why I just try to, give like, if you have project A, plan it well and plan the what ifs also in it. If you have project B, plan it also well and plan the project, I mean the what ifs in that project. So that when anything comes, you'll not be completely overwhelmed. There are cases that, like I said, if you are international, buyer of, and your the whole ship by capsize, and therefore you lose your goods. That is a big one to swallow. Um, but it is not forever. If you have somehow laid a good foundation, you'll be able to bounce back. Even though you lost a lot, you will be able to bounce back. That is the example I was trying to give with that, pillow, that cushion, that bed, actually strong bed that they pump for people to fall on from high buildings, so that they don't really hurt themselves. They bounce on it and stand up whenever they fall. So that was the example that I'm trying to give, so that we don't mistake in it, we don't get it wrong, we don't plan A, B, and C for the same project. It will, if you do that, it will take you um, far away from what you actually want to achieve. All right. So I've learned to be like the eagles. Okay. Debbie, I learned about different types of time, the time consumers, the time managers, yeah, the time wasters, and the time commanders. Okay. Thank you very much. Not to allow the storm to limit you. Absolutely. Don't allow that. Thank you so much, goodness. All right. So, um, Mr. Tunde said, I am more educated on time, its meaning, its values, its power, all its variables that makes time profitable and impactful. In fact, I have learned so many things that time won't permit for their expressions. Oh, thank you so much, sir. God bless you. I learned to use time effectively. One pass can't be regained. Absolutely. Absolutely. We can't regain it. I learned that we should be cautious of our time and make good use of it, and don't let people to dictate. Exactly. Don't. I get it. I get it. You need to get. Absolutely, I get it. Yes, you need to get all the plans. Yeah, as well. That's what exactly. Yes, don't put all your eggs in one basket. All right. Diversification, absolutely. You need to diversify. Absolutely. All right. Thank you all so much. Thank you so much for your contributions. I am so blessed. Thank you so much. Um, so we need to make good use of time. And please, when you're making good use of time, taking out time for yourself is not a wasted time. Invest in yourself because that's the only way you can become also effective. If you're investing in yourself, don't spend it on watching movies that will not add value to you. Put in the time that will add value to you so that you can be effective. May God bless you. Good evening, Ademola. You are welcome. I'm doing fine by His grace. Thank you so much. But you came late, my dear. We are about to. You are actually rounding up saints. All right, people. Thank you so much for your time. You see why I don't take your time for granted. I don't want to just come here and be wasting your time. I want it to be, meaningful and impactful to you because time is precious. Yes, time is precious. So thank you so much for your time. And I really hope and pray you have been blessed. Exactly. That's the only way to add value to yourself once you invest. Amen. So we will see once again next week. Next week, I don't know what you guys prefer because I was thinking to um, start on a different topic, and I think I'm going to start with a different topic next week. And then once in a while, bring the recaps again. All right. Thank you so much. So next week we'll start on a different topic, and I hope to get um, some guests. I'll let you guys know when it's so far. All right. Thank you so much. Be blessed. Betty Zoe, good luck. Well, let me not say good luck, blessings with your work and all of us. May God bless you, guide you in all that you're doing, and we will see next week by His grace. Oh, patience, thank you so much. All right, be blessed, take care of yourself, and we will see next week definitely by His grace. Bye.